Jodron hambai ini tamu kelas economic class night tongi paithak jara suggested the topic no ang alochona khayana ba narok bojaka porinani abo punugribona night tongi abo ani website already daja ekai obosyo kango bang class khaikena naidi eko jeng sajak.in ne google ot thangai click khaidi ekai nini economic arawa study material click khaibemen pore nini economic arawa economic o click khaidi economic o click khaigan kaino nini eko poila purpose of taxation in Indian tax structure abo jekono exam bo phayo naidi arawa ang descriptive narok nai paidi ang nalia purpose of taxation productive investment about point rijak promoting equity consumption control erpore nature of tax about type of tax or descriptive direct tax nini bini definition characteristics indirect tax definition example bini characteristics erpore tax ni category of impact progressive tax abar je kono competitive exam ni bagai black important obonor of nai mana serangai paidi naidi regressive tax bin definition te example boborok ne characteristics nene proportional tax bin definition about example characteristics application in India above use income tax indirect tax obo hangkai je topic rongi tabuk MCQ ang MCQ punugana eke sakawan rok nai paidi 40 ta MCQ. What is the primary purpose of taxation? Tamne bagai taxation tamne bagai hingga hangkai ini generating revenue for government. Government ni revenue generating kainen bagai saiman thangka. How does taxation contribute to productive investment hingga hangkai saiman thangka by funding public service and infrastructure Simon Thaka. Which of the following is a method by which taxation promote equity hingga kanini progressive tax rate. What is an example of how taxation can control consumption hingga kai nini imposing higher tax and luxury item overall. Hingga nature of tax ni je MCQ what distinguish a compulsory levy from a voluntary contribution abongkai nene compulsory levy are paid without a direct exchange of good or service above which type of tax can be shifted from products producer to the consumer abongkai indirect tax. Which of the following is a characteristic of direct tax? They are paid directly by individual or organization. Enggak type of tax ni the MCQ. Which tax is example of a direct tax of a direct tax? Enggak itu ini income tax rokobo. Which tax is example of indirect tax? Indirect tax enggak custom duty overall. What is the characteristics feature of indirect tax of the burden can be transferred to consumer. Tax categories by impact what define an progressive tax. Progressive tax the tax rate increases as income increases. Which of the following is an example of a progressive tax? Poll tax. What is the characteristic of a proportional tax abong kangkai to maintain a constant rate regardless of income level. Application in India aboni bini ekai nini which type of tax system does Indian employ for income tax abong kai progressive tax system. Indian, what is the nature of VAT and essential good abong kangkai regressive? How are luxury item tax under GST in India? GST nini indirect tax, they are taxed as the high rated. GST feature nini or what is the main benefit of GST over the provision tax system? Abong kahangkai elimination of cash cascading tax over which tax system thus GST is India used for interstate transaction abong kahangkai integrate GST by IGST. What happened to the credit of CGST paid on input abong kahangkai ini in the it can only be used to pay CGST. Nini which type of good or example for GST abong kahangkai ini alcohol or human consumption. Which type of good or exemption for GST hingkai alcohol for human consumption abo. Eke angoro phunuka abo norok nai paidi जों sajak.in no tolawo description box abo ni link dijak tongo जों sajak.in जों sajak.in no thangai joto competitive exam ni study material dijak tongo hingkai abo porimi hingkai norok direct PDF nanan hingka kebo tola description box call number tongo duita number ekta habiake tekes number khaidi eke abo ini economic tasra economic class in जों sajak hingkai kabang ma video manthanai ba playlist o thangai pano economic class ini naidi ang barbar khaina thanglia abo sikango khajak eke ang abo sudo phono koi rikha indication tabuk economic class in जों sajak kini sikya hangkai ba playlist o thangka hangkai जों sajak ri playlist o thangka hangkai economic class ni nuknai onek suggested ba important je kono competitive exam or anawa jagana hoiteno kalai thango karon onekta jasai khai class khaijak ঠিক আছে হামবাই একাই routine wise study khai tongli nangai tongli প্রত্যেকটা ক্লাস যেha kaban habdi ang leng di khaya karon kabang geler gela pray hajar kasakasi video khaijak norok nukhona ekai tabuk khaijak hangkai barbar khlaio eke angaba simi alert khai rikha economic class in जों sajak khini cd nia khabe playlist o thangai naidi aram se mantanai ঠিক আছে হামবাই next class o malai pinai